Welcome to the 10 at 10 for 10 challenge, which is 10 minutes of yoga every day for 10 minutes. So we're going to go straight into it. What I will tell you is that if you have any injuries, please listen to your body. Yoga is not meant to be sore, it's not meant to hurt you. If you've got an existing injury or something that's giving you a little bit of trouble, just be a little bit aware of it, back off on some of the poses or anything that might feel uncomfortable. Alright then, so taking a standing position and hands in prayer, close your eyes, take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Putting your hands by your sides, keeping your eyes closed. Just raise your hands over your head to meet in the middle in time with the inhale. Bring them back down on the exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. I'm just going to take my slippers off. So we're going to start with some sun salutations as a warm up and to get the blood going. So if you come, so I'm going to do this fairly slowly the first time. We'll be repeating the same sequence every day in the challenge, so you'll see yourself improve as the 10 days go along, and also seeing the improvements in your strength and flexibility. So coming to the top of your mat, feet together, inhale your arms up over your head, looking at your hands. Forward fold, looking up at your belly button, and hands on the ground or on your calves, wherever's good for you. A halfway lift, where you flatten your back, so either your hands on your calf bones and hands on the ground, and step back into a plank pose. Now from here you can either go down in a half push-up or put your knees down and slowly half push up down to the ground. From here we're going to go into a cobra, so resting your the backs of your feet on the ground, using your back strength, come up into a cobra. So I can completely take my hands away here, you're not pushing yourself up, it's all in the back. And then tuck your toes and come into a downward dog. So downward dog, your feet are hip distance, your hands are shoulder distance. You want to keep your back as straight as possible. You can keep and bend in the knees if it's more comfortable. This is the first downward dog of the day, so maybe go a little bit gentle. You can always walk out of the legs. Look between your hands and step forward, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale, arms up over your head, looking at your hands, and come back to a prayer pose. Alright, so we'll repeat that a little bit more quicker now. So inhale, arms up, looking up at the hands, and forward fold, halfway lift, stepping back into your plank, and from here going down to the ground in whatever chaturanga is for you. Coming into a cobra pose and tucking the toes and coming into your downward dog. You might need to reposition your feet and breathe. Throughout the whole 10 minutes, breathing only through your nose. Looking up between your hands and stepping forward, halfway lift and forward fold. Inhale your arms up over your head and coming back to prayer. Last one, inhale, arms up, forward fold, halfway lift, stepping back into your plank, chaturanga, cobra, and downward dog. 3 breaths. Looking between your hands, stepping forward, halfway lift, forward fold. We're just going to take a couple more breaths here. So in your forward fold, you might have your legs bent if it's more comfortable. Your hands might not reach the ground, which is also fine. But when you are in your forward fold, just maybe think of tilting your bum just slightly towards your head to really feel that stretch in your hamstrings. And now coming up into a chair pose. So your feet together, knees together, arms up, looking up towards the sky or the ceiling. Maybe taking a little look down and just making sure your knees don't go past your toes, and maybe sitting slightly deeper into it. And lovely, coming back up to standing. Now come into a really wide-legged pose. Make sure your feet are parallel, or maybe your toes slightly turned inwards. And from here, hands on your hips, and hinging from your hips, fold forward. The wider your legs are, the easier it will be, and place your hands in line with your feet. You might need to just shift the weight of your body from your heels to the middle of your feet or your toes. And look up at your belly button. Focusing on the breathing. And coming back up, keeping your legs wide, turning your right foot out and bending your front leg, coming into a warrior 2 pose. So again, with this pose, you don't want your knee to go past your toes. So if it is, you might need to take a wider stance and looking at your right arm. Straightening your legs, swapping the feet round and bending to the other side. And coming back up to the top of your mat, looking up at your hands, forward fold, halfway lift, stepping back into your plank pose, and coming all the way down to the ground now. Resting your feet out, clasping your hands behind your back. We're going to come into a snake pose. So just lift the front of your body. It's really good at strengthening the back. And just try to keep your neck straight so it's not all bunched up. Releasing the hands and push yourself back into a child's pose. Really letting the breath go now. Breathe through your mouth. This is the final relaxation pose because that is the end of the 10 minutes. So nice deep breaths. Sinking your head and arms into the ground. Lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I think that was a little bit over 10 minutes, but I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. All right? Take care and have a really lovely day. Namaste.